Oh my. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up Fez night. I hope it wasn't too dull. It was mostly thanking subscribers. Maybe I should go into my rant. I had another fight with that person in my life that's unmentionable. Because you'll get mad if I mention her. And you've all heard enough of that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I did want to say, Whiskey Man took me to task a little bit because when I bragged, I mean, I was more or less kidding. It was tongue-in-cheek to say that I am the most vocal Bush hater out there in the world. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I mean, Bush disgusts me. And he really bugs the hell out of me. But there are people on YouTube and people out there that are doing a much better job of criticizing the president than I am. And Whiskey Man said, I used to be first string, but now I'm second string. Well, it kind of has to do with... I lost a little bit of the steam as far as posting political vlogs during the middle of the week. And I think it has a little bit to do with me just kind of wanting to have fun. Maybe I'm not quite as angry about that stuff. But I still encourage everybody to pay attention. It's still important to pay attention to what's going on. And frankly, I think some of the political vloggers might do a better job. I think one of the things, it wasn't the content, I feel, that was good in my videos, but a little bit of, I don't know, should I say showmanship, perhaps? I don't know. I mean, the bit where I waterboarded myself, that was a little bit of theatrics. I mean, granted. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for some new material. Everything right now is on the knife edge. I was taken to task by Crazy Cat Guy for saying that when I talked about the difference between liberals and conservatives. But one of the things he did not do was, and of course now it's posted, but look a little bit at what I was saying as the difference between a so-called liberal and a conservative. And it all gets mixed up because it's not a black and white thing. It's not a black and white world. It's not high contrast. Everybody has shades of gray. And he pointed out to me that Clinton was not a true Democrat in the definition that I was talking about. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why so many liberals despise the Clintons. Because they did sell out to big business. They did sell out in many ways because they are so obviously power hungry. I can't put it any more clearly, but it's about picking the lesser of two evils. And even though the Democrats nor the Republicans are perfect, and everybody says, even Ralph Nader, that they've sold out and they're one and the same, but I still say that there are differences. There is a difference between voting for McCain or voting for Obama or voting for Hillary. There is a difference. It really matters who's sitting in that seat in the White House and who's appearing on camera and who's giving out the address that night. And a lot of it has to do with personality. George Bush is turned into some type of clown. The shit has hit the fan. The economy is sinking. For the first time ever that I know of, the Canadian dollar is stronger. The Canadian dollar, which is also known as the loon, apparently. The Canadian dollar is stronger than the American dollar. And yet Bush, somehow, more and more, it seems to not bother him. And I don't care what anybody says. When you see the name George W. Bush, underneath it's going to say Republican. And you can nitpick all you want about this Republican did this and that Democrat did this and this Democrat was not entirely liberal or that Republican was not entirely conservative. Fine. whatever. What are you going to do? Leave the country? The idea that you are so against government that you want to see the whole thing torn down? Are you that cynical? It's ridiculous. I'm feeling a little bit angry. Whiskey Man, that is why I've stopped doing political vlogs. Because there are people that I like out there, but I so fucking disagree with them. Okay? That's probably it. I'm tired of the fucking idiots calling me a hippie and telling me I need a shower. I still get that stuff on my old Michael Savage videos when I used to go out against Michael Savage. That if I do a really strong liberal thing, and the way I work is I don't block anybody. I mean, rarely do I block anybody. And I wait for the comments to roll in. And when I do a really strong liberal type video, man, the haters come out of the woodwork. And I have to do the song and dance. Without being a real asshole, I have to kind of point out where their logic is flawed. And most of the time, it's just, I mean, anybody that still sides with Bush, like I said on my last video, they seriously need some type of mental help. And for those of you that are so against the system that you don't want to participate anymore, I feel sorry for you. It still comes down to Republicans and Democrats. I have said many, many, many times that I am not a Democrat. I am Green Party. My heart still sides with the Democrats. But the Democrats are not hardcore enough. And yet, I'm still willing to play the game. I'm not that cynical. And this business about the neocons used to be liberals and all that. I mean, if you really look into it, what it is the liberals out of their idealism, and I'm not always in agreement with this, but the idea of a United Nations, the idea of a League of Nations, the idea that we can all get together and talk, that's a liberal idea. The neocons, and the idea that we'll go and try to influence other world governments for the better, okay? The neocons hijacked that idea and turned it in to make the world safe for big business. When these people talk about how the neocons really started out as liberals, that's basically it's bullshit, okay? What they did is they took a little bit of the philosophy and turned it on its head. The idea that they were going to go out and do nation building, not for good, not for some idealism. There I go, air quotes, I hate doing that.